My ladies, you've got to join me on the Body Breakthrough Club. What is that? That is my private Facebook group just for you. It's where we get together as like-minded women that want to have a breakthrough with our bodies. Hello. So it's where we lose our belly, not our mind. I'll say that again. We lose our belly, not our mind, but we master our mind to lose our belly. So in the Body Breakthrough Club, you'll find me there. I post all my tips and tricks, some nourishing foods that you're going to want to eat. I've got supplements that you're going to want to take. I've got tips and tricks on some things that I do behind the scenes that I don't tell just everybody. So go in there, join us at the Body Breakthrough Club on Facebook. It's private. I do have to approve you, but it's a lot of fun. We're building it strong, and all my goodies will be in there. Some of the exercises are there. Some of our past 5-day challenges are in there. So don't miss out. Just join us. It's free. You can meet some friends. There's a lot of networking. I found a lot of the women in there have done business with each other. So you can network, sell, get your message out, and also learn a thing or two. So join me there. Body Breakthrough Club. Be strong, be fierce, and what? Be you. Boom. You, boom. Yes, the Power Hour is back live right here for my very own red carpet. I'm super excited. Hold on, baby, because we got cameras going. We all busy. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Just turn the volume down on the computer. So we are so loud. I know I want you guys to hear me. Today was 4th of July. We were celebrating our freedom, folks. I'm proud to be an American. You should see my outfits. I think we have some photos of it. For the few years ago, I represent USA, so I have a ton of red, white, and blue in my wardrobe. So I just throw on whatever's in there. It looked like a flag exploded on me yesterday. But we had such a good time. You know, I started off, it was so great. As you know, I'm the faith and fitness queen, and I always put faith first. So I actually went to my church. We just opened up at our brand new location. It's called Oceans Church. It was on Big Parkway, and it was just fabulous. We're still in the tents while the building's being reconstructed, but it was so great to worship God with all like-minded people. It was so uplifting. It was the 4th of July. People got baptized. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. That's how I started my Independence Day. Just amazing. Then I got to go down to the boat. We went out and saw fireworks underneath the big barge on the water. I mean, just fabulous. It's just really great to be around such amazing people. Had an amazing time. I hope you did too. But now today is a special day. Again, we are back live, the Power Hour. Super happy to be here. If you guys are watching, please live, let me know where you're from, who you are, what's going on. How was your 4th of July? let's just share and bring it back in. We're in the middle of summer. I can't even believe it. Where is this year gone already, right? But I hope everybody's doing fabulous. I hope you guys are staying fierce. But today, you guys, if you catch the replay, don't want to miss this. But if you are live, let me see who we've got here. Excited for today's show. Yes, Sativa's there. Thank you for tuning in. It's been crazy, crazy. But listen, today we have a friend of mine. I ran into her actually when I was speaking at a Women's Empowerment Summit. I don't know, like 4 weeks ago, something like that, maybe a month ago, if that. I don't even remember. We'll talk about it. We met in the bathroom, and she's like, hey. I'm like trying to get dressed. I'm going live on stage. It's a little crazy. She had to be my wardrobe person, and now she's my special guest. So you never know who you're going to meet in the women's bathroom is the point. You could end up on my red carpet, you see. Anyways, you guys, her name is Tanya Brown. We've met prior before that, but she's amazing. If you guys don't know who she is, she's actually the sister of Nicole Brown Simpson. So we're going to dive deep into some questions. We're here live, so the audience, you guys can ask us questions if you want to know. She's going to be talking about her book in my power seat in just a few moments. But let's bring her, actually, you know what? Let's just bring her up live. Welcome to the stage, my red carpet, Miss Tanya Brown.
Super excited to be here.
I know, right?
So fun.
Coach Millie greeted you at the door.
Hi, Millie. Hi, Millie.
The diva's on the stage. Yeah, so great. Thanks for coming today.
Of course.
I know we had to reschedule you a few times because I got booked on some other things and got a little busy myself. But
all good. Production is good.
Production is good. And you like this production,
I
right?
love this. Oh my God, it's amazing.
And this fun.
Everybody needs to see this.
Right? This is what happens during COVID, right? You get creative.
Right?
And I think we're going to talk about that, right?
Yeah.
One of your topics, life after COVID.
Life after COVID. I had it and I thrived and I survived. And I think
you got it.
I had it for 2.5 months.
Oh, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, last year. So I'll be talking about like depression, what I went through actually after COVID. During COVID, I was so sick, I just wanted to sleep. But we'll be talking a lot about that. I'm excited to share it.
Yes, when I get her in the hot seat. All right, you guys. So we're going to do that. I just want to welcome her to the power seat. If you guys are here, please tell us, give us some thumbs up, maybe some hearts. Get your questions ready because she is here live, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
this
so
is
excited.
What girls do. We lift each other up, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
You were so supportive when I was speaking, and when I came off stage, she gives me a big hug. She fixed my wardrobe before I went on. She had my back.
We have legs. We need to pull down our pants.
Yeah,
right? The pant legs.
Yeah, it was so awesome. And that white business suit, you guys saw on some of my stuff, I spoke at that, and that suit was made for me in India.
It's so gorgeous, and that purple top, it was just stunning.
Right? Yes, thanks. I know it was Sharon, the promoter, made me wear. She's like, do not wear your fitness clothes, Lauren. You got to look business. I'm like, yes, ma'am. You do what the promoters say when you're on their stage. Hint if you're a speaker out there.
Exactly.
And it was fabulous, and I got to connect with you, and here we are. So without further ado, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to jump into the power seat. Get your questions ready for Miss Tanya because she's in the house on the Power Hour Live.
Okay, and please ask questions because I'm here for you guys, okay? So we're not in this thing called life alone. I'm really an open book. So let's make this happen. Let's make it good.
Awesome. Literally, we don't even know what we're going to talk about.
No, not at all. We're very organic, authentic, and I think that the more structured you are, the more contrived it is. So we're just going to fly with it.
Well, people know if they're on the Power Hour, there's never questions, no scripts, nothing going on. And this is how I roll. I always speak from the heart. And I find it's, like you said, organic is a great word for that. Being transparent, authentic.
That's it.
Speaking from the heart and just flowing, for the people that want to know what's going on and how we can serve you. So we're all here to serve. She's a woman of faith as well. Yeah. That's why we connected immediately. Right?
I went to church yesterday too.
Yes.
Praise
Jesus.
It was awesome. Praise Jesus.
Right.
I mean, we all need faith, man. You can't get through life alone.
Especially what you've been through and your family and all of that. We'll go into that.
We'll go into it. Yeah.
All right, you guys. We'll see you just in a second. Quick break. Watch the promotion, and we'll see you in probably 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Of that.
Okay.
All right.
See you in a bit.
Hey everyone, Lauren Powers here. I call myself a faith and fitness queen. That's right, I changed my whole being, if you will, putting faith first. And you know why? This week has been my sobriety week. I just turned 27 years of being clean and sober. I'm going to cry just thinking about it because it's just so impactful and so important to me. I wouldn't be here today impacting other people's lives, putting their health first, making health a habit if I didn't have my own health And I thank God for that, for having my sobriety. I quit over 27 years ago this week, right after Memorial Day weekend. So you know what I was doing. So June 2nd is my sobriety date. I celebrate that every year. And today I'm proud to say I put together 27 consistent years of staying clean and sober. And I'm not anonymous about it. I really wanted to share this with people that are out there, because if you're struggling in any form of addiction, I don't care what it is, that just happened to have been mine. I was a party girl. I have zero regrets, you guys. I had an amazing life. I still do. I just changed it. I'm here to help you. I did it for myself, and if I can do it, you can do it. So if I can inspire you and be impactful and motivate you in any way to change that limiting self-belief and that negative self-talk that you're telling yourself, and why you're drinking or drugging or gambling or eating or sex or whatever your thing is, we can let go of that. And I learned that by putting God first. And I'm just so proud to say that yes, I'm 27. I'm not anonymous about it. It is an anonymous program. I get all that. But I'm using my plan, or my purpose, and my platform, I should say, to let people know that I'm here for you. And if I can do it, you can do it. So happy birthday to me. I'm just so proud. I'm getting great birthday wishes, but I wanted to share that with the world and just let people know that I'm here for you. Talk to me. Let's discuss this and see how I can just be there for you. Sometimes you just need a friend, right? Remember, God first and then you. Boom. Be strong, be fierce, and be you. Boom. Hey guys, I'm super excited to announce the Fast and Fierce program. That's right, Fast and Fierce. I'm Lauren Powers, your... Who
are you?
I don't know who I am anymore. I need to eat. All right, let's do it. Ladies, let's do this. Let's do this now. Fast and Fierce. It's my newest program. We're going to do home teaching you. Home teaching you. Boom! If you guys like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss a single video, okay? Hit the red little bell. It'll notify you when I do something crazy and fun and wild. So be strong, be fierce, and be you. Boom! Subscribe.
I love that. I love that. That is so fun.
I didn't know he was going to play the behind the scenes. Like we just said from the red carpet, we just go live. I just let it go.
I know. That is so funny. I love it. It's like, you know what? We're not perfect, right? Home improvement, home.
Yeah. Like, who are you? Who are you? I don't even know who I am.
I love it.
That's why I have to wear usually on my shirts. Who are you?
Who are you? You know what, Lauren? First of all, before we even get going, I'm so proud of you that you were so open about your sobriety. I mean, I work in the world of mental health and addiction, and very few people aren't open to like sharing their stories, of mental health, addiction, and and I love the fact that you say, "Hey, I was a party girl," and you had fun. You had a great life, but it came to an end. It had to come to an end because you wouldn't be who you are today because of that. So I just want to say, because there's so many people out there struggling with this, and at any age. I mean, 12 years old. I had to bury a 14-year-old not too long ago. So thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I'll take a hug.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
takes courage.
It does, but I if I had held on to my experience in my life, it would be selfish. And so I think sharing my message is to empower others. That's my new name, Lauren M. Powers. Remember?
Oh, yes!
I announced it. There it is. Yeah, you guys are seeing it.
Lauren M. Powers.
You're seeing it for the first time, Lauren M. Powers. Well, because that's my other name, McDonald. So the M from McDonald's. So it makes sense. But if you say it all together, Lauren M. Powers. Yeah.
You're so creative. I love it.
And the world goes crazy. No, but I think I am here to empower other people and through my message. And some things aren't so pretty. We all have a message, and they say, your mess becomes your message.
Absolutely.
And so many speakers and, all those women that were at the event that you and I were together, they all had some pretty crazy messages
stories. Yeah.
And stories. But then that becomes
who you
your
are.
Story to share. And it's if you didn't do anything about it, then it stays a mess.
Absolutely.
But when I think you work on yourself, you do the work, you get coaches, you go to therapy, whatever it may be, to better and empower yourself and better your life, it really is the key.
Absolutely.
And there is help out there, you guys. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter whether, eating, gambling, sex, drugs, alcohol, rock and roll.
Right, rock and roll. And I was just telling Lauren, you that, back in 1989, and we'll talk about my story over the hour, but in 1989, I lost my best friend. She was killed in a hit and run accident in Laguna on West Street. That's why there's the light there. And
because of that.
Yeah, because of that.
I used to go to the beach right there.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It's a fabulous beach.
It's a great beach. Yeah, she was crossing the street and it was a hit and run, and it was just, but from that point on, like I hit my clinical depression and I became an overeater. I basically hid my paraphernalia was like food boxes and wrappers. Yours was like booze and whatever it is that you use, your bottles, you hide stuff, right? So
I didn't hide
stuff. You didn't hide
but
stuff.
I understand the concept.
Right? Exactly. So anyways, yeah.
You don't want to come clean with what's going on.
I was hitting rock bottom with her death because I lied to her the night before she died.
Oh,
yeah.
So
I basically had to wash the dog that I didn't have. Yeah. Instead of just saying, no, I don't want to go out or whatever, I was like, no, I made up some excuse. So I had horrible, horrible guilt.
That's guilt and shame.
Oh, it was awful.
Which a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
We all do that. It's common things, but it's how we deal with it to get to the other side.
Exactly.
And I think that's why you're sitting here and while I'm sitting here is to let people and our viewers and let them know that there is hope and there are ways to get through these things. You have to acknowledge it and step through and do the work and then come out on the other side and then help other people.
Exactly.
Like you're doing today. You're opening up, you're sharing transparently.
Very much.
I don't even know your story. I just know I love you already. You're my sister. You're on my power seat couch.
Love it.
But that's how we roll. But it's important. And I think that, that's what the Power Hour is all about, is to let women especially just be comfortable enough to be vulnerable and share and serve. You know what I mean? We're here to this is not a bragging.
It's not about us.
No, it has nothing to do with us. And that was my big breakthrough. I went to leadership and all these things. When I was doing my own work, I had to realize, because of from fitness, it's all about you, like what you eat, how much you sleep, your, the diet, the training, all you do is eat, sleep, and train, and you repeat it again. You get on stage and you do it. It's just crazy, but it's all self-absorbed type of work. But once I realized that it's not about me, I've already been there, done that. Now it's about how I can take my experience and serve others.
Exactly.
And that was a huge breakthrough for me, because I'm an only child. Everything was all about me. The show that says it's all about me. Been there, done that. Me. But once I realized it's not about me. I think my whole thing in putting faith first and all these things that I have gone through, it's exciting because it is a journey. It's a process. You stay in the step you're in and you just take life step by step. And it doesn't have to be so overwhelming, and you don't have to stay in depression. You don't have to stay in eating disorders. You don't have to stay, drinking alcohol and mind altering substances. You don't have to do that. Yeah. But you have to choose. And this is,
That's it.
Then you have to choose and make a decision and make a commitment and follow through and take action to get to the other side of whatever it is you're going through. Yeah. And
you're not alone.
Yes, we're together.
That's the thing. Nobody's alone in this thing called life,
That's right.
And that's why we're here, because we're here to empower, I even like the word encourage. Like we're encouraging you.
It takes courage.
It does take courage,
to encourage.
To encourage. So we want to encourage you to find that courage within yourself to say, wow, you know what? I am challenged with, you are worth it. And you are worth it. And just for you to kind of sit back, reflect, our minds are so busy all the time. And we've got that little hamster in our head that never stops for some people. Right. So it's so critical just to, take time to meditate, take time to read devotionals, just slow down your brain and breathe. Because if you don't, that's when you start spiraling into, depression, anxiety, addiction, whatever that is. But you don't understand what you're going through. You can't see it if your brain is so busy.
Correct.
So if you feel it, our behaviors are are things that are happening to us in our life, right? So whether it's, after I was grieving my mom, so I fell into huge depression, and I had to go on a grief retreat because I just needed to get out of, I needed to dodge the OC and my sisters, to tell you the truth. I just needed to disengage from life. But had I not like sat back and go, wow, you know what? If I don't grab hold of this right now, I don't know where I'll go, because I have battled with addiction, with food addiction. I weighed 200 pounds after when my friend Harissa died.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That could happen.
I ate myself pretty much to death. And then one day my mom cleaned under my bed and she was like, oh my God.
What was your thing? Share.
It was like,
Snickers,
oh my God.
Or what was your favorite thing?
Just everything. It was like McDonald's, granola bars. I mean, I went on I won't mention the name, but I went on some like diet fad, and I like ate all the product within like 2 days. Well, obviously that didn't work, right? But I'm not going to mention the name of the program, but it would work if you take it as prescribed.
Follow directions.
Exactly.
That's another story.
Follow directions. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd love to take people through my story and where I've come from. And so, again, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer, but I want to share the story so you understand that I'm so much more than Nicole's sister. And so many times people have asked me, were you depressed because of losing Nicole? And I'm like, no, it was a combination of unresolved stuff that caught up with me. So, yeah, can I? Yes.
Yes. Let's dive in.
Okay.
You guys ready?
We're going to dive in.
We're going to go deep, baby. We're going to go
really deep.
Obviously, we don't hold back anything.
Nothing. So born and raised here in Orange County in Dana Point, moved here when I was 3 years old. And I was the baby, or I am the baby of 4 girls. So Denise, Nicole, Dominique, and then myself. And then here I am, and following the footsteps of all these magnificent sisters, right? I mean, Denise was on the cover of Cosmopolitan. Nicole was, and they're all like, all my sisters are gorgeous. So Nicole, we know about her, right? Rich and famous, and well, not famous, but now she is. And then Dominique, valedictorian at Dana Hill. So it's like, and then I had to go through Dana Hills, following the footsteps of all these sisters.
That's a
lot of pressure.
Yeah, pressure to step into.
And the reason why I'm smiling is because so many of my teachers, they were like, "Oh, you're a Brown. You're a Brown. Oh, I had your sister for math or psychology," and I was like, "Oh my God, I kind of lost my identity."
Okay, I can see where that would happen.
I was never Tanya. I was always somebody's sister.
Okay.
But everything,
makes total sense.
Yeah, but everything in hindsight, I didn't understand how much it was going to affect me. So
how could it not, if you think about it
now
on this side of it? Yeah.
And it explains so much. But back in the 80s, that's kind of when when all the tragedies and the traumas happened. So back in the 80s, we didn't have Mothers Against Drunk Driving. We didn't have the awareness that we have today with,
we didn't have social media.
Exactly, right? We had
pagers,
right? We had pagers, beepers.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't have the awareness of the things that we're talking about today. And because it was a stigma, or we didn't know much about it, and
nobody talked about it.
Nobody talked about it because it wasn't really an issue, right, at the time. So during high school, I had to bury 6 friends of mine. From 6. So, and I want to kind of explain that.
That's
where,
crazy.
Yeah, it was everybody, since I was pretty much like raised here since I was 3 years old.
Which is not a bad place.
Yeah, not a bad
Dana Point Harbor last night with the boats.
Not a bad place.
Yeah.
I grew up in
the best fireworks show ever was Dana Point Barge last night. Yes,
I grew up in Monarch Bay. I grew up on the beach.
I mean,
I was just a beach girl, right? It was simple family. And everybody always thinks we're like this Kardashian family. I'm like, oh my God, if you don't like sand in your bathtub, wetsuits in your bathtub, you don't like dogs and don't feel comfortable putting your feet on the couch, don't come over. I mean, that's how my family was and is. And so what ended up happening in the 80s, like I said, I had a very 6 friends of mine. And these were friends who, since I was born and raised here, these were kids that I went to like kindergarten with, elementary, junior high, high school. So these weren't like new students coming in as we see today.
That was part of your life.
They were part of my life. And so, but back then we didn't have grief responders. We didn't have the counselors that we have
Therapy and
today,
all that,
right?
yeah.
It was more like, where do you want to go to college after Dana Hills? And I'm like, Salt Creek, right? Saddleback. I don't even know if I want to go to college, right?
Right.
At the time, just a simple beach girl. So again, we didn't have the therapy. We didn't have somebody to talk to. The teachers, didn't really know how, again,
To
now,
deal with this.
now we know.
It's a thing now.
Right?
Yes.
It's a thing. And so what did I do? I stuffed,
Mm.
and I didn't feel my pain. I didn't feel my emotions. And I was raised by World War II parents.
Oh,
So,
wow.
the generation who doesn't talk about things,
Yeah, you just
pick yourself up by the bootstraps and
literally
carry on.
keep going. That's right.
Get a job at Starbucks, whatever. Just don't feel. My parents never told me not to feel. It was just the way that they knew how to cope.
Sure.
So
They
I was
do the
kind
best
of,
they can.
yeah. So I was
Right.
following by example. And so fast forward 2 years after high school, like I said, my friend Harissa was killed in a hit and run accident in Laguna. That was in '89. And that's when my clinical depression came in. And I didn't know what depression was. Even though I was going to school to be a therapist, I didn't know it.
Really? Wow.
I was like, maybe therapists should go to therapy too. But
Something to be said about that. But
right?
okay. Honestly,
I
goes without shoes, right?
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, I just kind of plowed through. And so, but that's in everything in hindsight now. I have my master's in counseling psychology. So now I know what clinical depression looked like. And that's when
You were educated.
I was educated.
If you don't know, you don't know. How do you
Exactly. I didn't know.
Right.
So this is a really important message that I want to share with you.
Yes. Please.
Wherever you go, there you are. So
I used to say that all the time.
Right? Wherever you go, there you are.
Yes.
So here I am. I'm a student. I decided to go to Orange Coast College.
Okay.
I'm a student
I went
there.
there for a semester.
I love it. I loved it. I hated Saddleback because of the hills. I didn't like walking up the hills.
It was so funny.
I'm lazy. I was lazy.
Fantastic.
So I decided after Orange Coast, I got accepted to UCI and UCSD, and I chose San Diego.
Okay. Fun.
But like I said, wherever you go, there you are, right? So when Harissa died, I would, like what I was saying, I would hide my food underneath the table in coat pockets. I would litter. I would have like 3 breakfasts. If somebody wanted to ask me for lunch, and even though I already had 2 lunches, I'd go again. I mean, it was just, it became a real issue.
Yeah, wow.
I was never diagnosed with an overeating disorder, but again, with my education, I'm like,
this is what it is.
This is what it is, right?
Right. Wow.
And I mean, it got so bad. I even asked the toll booth lady when we had the toll booth people.
Yeah.
I said, "Will you throw away my trash?" Because I was going to Carmelo's in Corona Del Mar.
Yes, I know it.
And I didn't want the valet to see all my McDonald's
wrappers in your car.
But she said,
hey, you do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. So fast forward, I went to UCSD and I was sitting in a class. At this time, I was working in a restaurant, but at this time I kind of got everything under control because I was, studying. I was working at the racetrack as well as a pizza joint, and then going to school.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Busy.
and if you have kids who are ready to be college bound, this is really important. Equip them with coping skills, because I went in with absolutely none, and here I'm thinking, okay, I can do this. I can work 2 full-time jobs. I can go to UCSD, which is like a brainiac school, which later I left because I figured I'm not a brainiac.
Put that together.
Put it together. But equip them with coping skills, strategies on, self-care, managing, how to manage their mental health, because again, I didn't know what I know now. I'm sharing this with all of you, for many years now, sharing everything that I learned now in hindsight.
Right.
So, talk to them about mental health, talk to them about self-care, because nobody taught me that.
They don't teach you about money either.
Nothing.
In school. It's like the real world.
That's what I really needed.
That's a whole nother topic.
That's what I really needed.
They give you credit cards and go.
And then go. Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly. And that was another thing on college campuses. They give you MBNA, and it's like, here's a $10,000 limit. I'm a college kid, right?
Sharon Lecter shared, remember? That
Yes.
She changed the laws about that.
Exactly.
They're not allowed to give kids.
They're not the credit cards. Yeah.
Then the parents freak out.
Right. And then the students get anxiety. So what ended up happening when I really realized that, okay, something needs to change, right? I need to take action, just like what you were saying.
Make a decision.
But I couldn't until I kind of hit a rock bottom mentally. First of all, I fainted my first day at UCSD. I was in the doctor's office the first day, all day.
Welcome to college.
And I said to my mom, she goes, so how was your first day of college? And I said, Mom, I was in the doctor's office all day.
Oh, you poor thing.
And she goes, why? And because I was so overwhelmed.
With anxiety.
I was in this big class of like 400 people. I had to grow up. I had my first apartment for the first time. I had roommates, yes. But I was like, that's why I'm saying equip your kids. Prepare them. Yeah, because I didn't. I just picked up and left. My mom didn't even know I left for college because I was like, I'm out of here. I was one of those kids. And so anyway, I was sitting in a class, and this is really, really poignant because I actually wanted to track this professor down and the family that I'm about to share when I wrote my book, but I couldn't find anybody. So I was sitting in a class, the 400-person class, and there was
which came to
right, exactly. I came to, and there was a mom and a dad sitting in front, giving a lecture with a whiteboard behind them with a picture of their daughter, and the daughter was just like. I mean, I related to her. Like she was happy. She had a huge smile on her face. She was just vibrant. They're sharing this story of this girl. And I just totally related to her. And they were sharing a story, how she jumped off the Coronado Bridge.
I just drove over that 2 days ago.
And so we
were wave running underneath. We did. And Lisa said, she goes, this is people jump off this. I'm like, you're kidding me. No. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
people really jump off that bridge,
and that entertained my brain
for yourself.
For myself,
to jump off the bridge
many times.
Are you serious?
Many times, because
is that in the book?
Yes, because I was taking all that unresolved grief from my friends that I lost.
Okay,
and also just following in the shadows of my sisters, and then of course losing Nicole. I'll get to that, and then another friend. I mean, it was like all this unresolved stuff. But yeah, it entertained my brain like many times. And, so I knew after listening to this family, I was like, holy cow, like this is real. Like people do this. And I think it was like psychology. It was like a suicide class or something like that, like Suicide 101, not a how-to class. Yeah. But it was more like educating everybody on the dynamic of suicide.
Wow. This is huge, you guys.
Yeah, this is really big. And so I knew at that very moment that, oh my gosh, maybe this school isn't for me. What's going on? Like maybe I need to, get out of here and do some work or change universities or whatever. The UC system's just not for me. And so it was Christmas Eve. I'm sitting in my condo. My roommates are gone. I'm in Carmel Valley and in San Diego County. And I want to paint this picture for all of you. It's, my curtains are drawn. I have a glass of wine in my hand. I'm like 21 at the time, 22. And the curtains are drawn. I'm watching Casablanca. Okay. I'm a kid watching Casablanca with a glass of wine on Christmas Eve. Is that healthy?
I don't think so.
It's not healthy for anyone.
I don't know, by yourself.
By myself. And I went, I was depressed. I was like, I knew I had to make a decision. And I kept saying, gosh, I worked so hard. Why is this happening to me? Why am I feeling like this? That negative self-talk. And then the phone rang and it was Nicole. And I'll never forget this. And she said, Dita is my mom, or is my mom. She passed in November. And Nicole said this, she goes, Dita's telling me you're having a really hard time, in San Diego. And I said, Nick, I'm having such a hard time. Like I'm depressed. I can't do this school. I don't know. It's like all this stuff started going through my brain. I was so disappointed, almost like disappointed in myself that I couldn't do it. But everything like afterwards, I was like, no, I'm really proud that I made the decision to leave. And let me finish this one story. Okay. But she said this to me. She goes, sometimes we don't need to understand everything. Right. That's right. So I'm going to share this quote with you. She said, I want you to write this down. And I was like, okay. And she goes, no, I'm not going to share it with you until you get a piece of paper and a pen and write this down.
What do you want them to write it down to?
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
Renee just said, Tanya, do you have a daily mantra that you practice?
Yeah. Well, it's not, this isn't a daily mantra, but it's always like somewhere in the back of my mind. I always say hope, hold on, pain ends. That's kind of my mantra.
Hold on to what?
Hope, hold on, pain ends.
Pain ends. Okay, like you can get through it.
Yeah, you can get through it. So that is always like, that's, or God, keep me on this side of the grass like one more day. I just do a lot of, like prayer, or I say the serenity prayer.
I do too.
Like pretty much like all day, every day.
That's my favorite thing.
That's
what got me sober.
That's the best.
Prayer.
The prayer, the serenity prayer. If you don't know it, Google it. It's everywhere. And, but Nicole said this to me. She said, delete the need to understand everything. We don't need to understand everything. Some things just are.
Wow.
Okay, let me repeat that.
Yeah, do it again.
Delete the need to understand everything. We don't need to understand everything. Some things just are. And
powerful.
Yeah. And she goes, okay, now I want you to pack your bag, get back up to Laguna, finish Christmas Eve, celebrate Christmas Eve.
With the family.
Yeah, with my family, with our family. And it's like, just enjoy. And at that very moment, I made the decision to withdraw from UCSD. Because had I not,
where you were supposed to be.
Yeah. Had I not, I would have gone against my grain. I would have been totally out of alignment. And so
it's so important.
We all have that thing in our gut
called tuition,
right?
Women's tuition. You ever hear about men having that?
Right?
Do you?
No.
Someone said that from stage. I thought that was brilliant.
It's all.
You ever heard about men's intuition? No, women. We have it. Use it.
You have to listen to it.
Yes.
It's if something doesn't feel right, it's not right. Right? That's not right.
Well, I think that's the Holy Spirit. Personally, that's what I've identified that as.
Seriously.
Telling you and taking care of you, protecting you.
Yeah, like something ain't
bad move. Yeah.
Yeah. Had I stayed at UCSD,
You'd
who
probably
knows?
Jumped off that freaking bridge.
Totally. Totally.
It's a big bridge, you guys.
And had it not been, it's like 275 feet or something like that.
Did you even know that?
I know, right?
Chills.
The fact that I even know that.
Yeah.
I did my measurements, whatever. So, really it just listen to, your body, listen to your brain, just listen to who you are. Because again, had I not listened to that, had I not heard that family, I'd still be there. Had I not taken action, I'd be dead.
Wow.
Yeah. So then I decided to withdraw from UCSD. I battled with, San Marcos for a while, the Cal State San Marcos, and then Nicole was killed. And that was in 1994.
That's the year I got sober.
Really? Yeah.
Yes, I remember seeing the chase.
Oh yeah, you shared that with me.
With the white Bronco. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
It was actually in a women's rehab thing.
I
was there for 1 week, and that was on the TV at like 20%.
Oh my god!
It was so surreal. It was like it wasn't even real. That whole story, and that was the biggest viral, I think. Probably still to date.
Still today. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh, we get messages, private messages, Facebook messages. I mean, you name it, emails, people going through my website, getting in touch with me. If it wasn't for your sister, I don't know where I'd be. Yeah. And, it's women would say, my abusive partner would always say, I'm going to do an OJ on you if you ever leave me. Right now, I have a girlfriend of mine who's basically being held hostage in Palm Springs. I mean, it's just, it's a real thing. And so if you find yourself even in any kind of control.
Do you speak on domestic violence?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's all making sense. That's your mess became now with your
Exactly.
To help other women. My friend Cara, who is on here, actually, she says, what's the changing point for you? She talks a lot about domestic violence and all that as well.
Oh, good. Oh, Renee Sotil is on here. Hey, Renee. She wrote the I Remember Nicole video. So check that out on YouTube. I Remember Nicole.
Okay.
So when Nicole was killed, we were, like I said, we're a private beach family. We were thrust into this media circus immediately. And,
devastating.
It was just, nobody prepares you for this.
How could they?
Because to us, it was just OJ. To us, it was like Nicole. We did not realize like how big this was, because to us, he was just a family member,
Right.
But it was so relatable to the entire world. And I just remember sitting in the living room and my mom holding my hand saying, when she saw Nicole at the bottom of the stairs, she says, and she was like squeezing my hand and she goes, that's my kid. That's my kid. So anytime I see the news, I don't care how bad that person was. I don't care how bad that person is. Regardless, it is somebody's child.
So I was going to say there's a family attached.
There's a family attached to that. So be mindful of that before we judge. There's always, there's always a family attached, a sister, a brother, a mom, or dad.
Right.
And a dad. And so that lasted for 2 years, probably the trial. I don't even know how long it lasted.
It seemed like forever.
Yeah. And, again, I was being told, don't, our whole family, don't speak, don't, gag orders, what to wear, what to say, when to show up. I mean, it was
really,
there was a lot of chaos. Hence the reason.
I was going to say, I just really looked down at that very moment. This is her book, you guys.
Yeah, you can find that on my website at tanyabrown.net. There you go. And I'll personally sign it for you. And that was yours. And so, again, fast forward, because we all kind of lived through 1994 with the murder of Nicole. But then
which she got away with.
Yeah, he got away with it.
How does that even happen?
Are you guys
still devastated over that? I mean, I can't even imagine.
I think when, again, if you're rich and famous, I think you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Murder, literally.
You can get away with murder.
Literally, that's the same.
It's a show. How to get away with murder. Well,
yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Wow.
You literally can get away with murder. But I think my mom, we were in Garcetti's office after the trial, and she said, after the verdict, and she just sat there very stoically. And she says, well, kids, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I was like, a lot of people think that's so cliche, but there's real power in it, because if you don't have control over it, you've got to accept it.
It's called acceptance, as I was just going to say.
It's like, it goes back to the serenity prayer that we were talking about, right?
Yes.
And that just stayed with me. So, a lot of people think that that statement is a cop-out, and it's not. Like, it is what it is. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. And she said, okay, we got to go down, again, we have to go home to pick up the kids because he's a free man, right? Well, instead of going down to Laguna to pick up his kids because he's a free man and he's got kids, he's a dad, he ended up having a soiree at Rockingham to celebrate his victory, right?
Oh my God.
So
you say that's narcissistic.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. Honestly. But it goes back to acceptance. Again, we're talking 27 years later.
Right.
Okay. So there's been a lot of processing, a lot of,
Oh yeah, for the whole family.
Yeah, exactly.
And the world had to deal with that.
And they still do. They still do.
Isn't that amazing?
Domestic violence will never go away. I firmly believe that.
What an impact that whole thing.
If it wasn't for Nicole, she's not here. So we have to use the people who aren't here to spread their message.
Correct.
And
that's right.
Right. So it's like, let's use Nicole.
For positive.
Right. Mm-hmm. Let's educate so we can help kids and help women and, the families who are like trapped in these relationships. We didn't know what domestic violence was.
Renee's telling everybody to read your book.
Yeah, you're so cute, Renee.
Good read, important, revealing, and inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
He's a jerk.
Yes, he is.
That's how you really feel, Renee.
Yes, he is.
Well, hello.
But you know what? It's like
it is what it is.
It is what it is. And at the end of the day, he's the children's dad, and we just learned to accept that. And I firmly believe the biggest mistake you can do is talk bad about the other person's partner, because at the end of the day, it's dad, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right. It is what it is.
So that was in 1994. Fast forward to 2000, and you'll appreciate this story. My friend Troy died in a cliff diving accident. He was like the brother I never had. And that's when my faith was tested.
Ah, okay.
And I don't know about anybody who's watching or who's listening. I'm telling you, if you have no faith and you hate God, and it's like, wait a second, it's like you question him because he took my friend after his addiction. He got well, and then he died. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make sense, right?
Doesn't make sense.
That's a tough one. That's a big test.
And I was angry. I was excuse my language, I was pissed off. I was gray, like my life was zapped out of me.
Probably blaming God. Why?
September 7th, 2000. I'm at the intersection of Greenfield and Crown Valley here in Laguna Niguel.
I know it.
And my mom goes, she asked me, she goes, did you call your friend to wish her a happy birthday? And I'm like, no, like, I don't care. And my mom said, you need to go talk to Troy's family. You need to go talk to them. And like, she saw the hole that I went through with Harissa, with my friend.
She didn't want that to happen.
And she didn't want that to happen again. And she was seeing it happen. I was going into that tornado.
Going spiraling
again.
down. That's what happens, guys, if you don't
cope with
acknowledge
it,
right? Do the work.
And so I went to I went to his family and I opened up the door and they're smiling and they're peaceful. And I'm like, what the heck are you guys on? Like, is there a pill? Is there a shot? I'm like, what is
Give
it?
it to me.
Give it to me. Like he was just my friend. He's your kid. Right.
Wow.
And they said, it's the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
And I was born and raised Catholic.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, sit, stand, kneel. All I got was like a really good butt workout.
Glutes.
Glutes.
Sit, stand.
Sit, stand, kneel. Sit, stand, kneel. I mean, not to dog any religions, but I wasn't relating to it anymore.
Right. I understand.
And they came in, or they invited me in and they prayed over me and I literally fell. They prayed over me. And
wow.
It was
that's the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm. It was
I see.
Oh yeah. It was just everything came out of me. And I was like, oh, I was so like
you almost like healing.
Like I could cry right now.
Yeah,
like
I'm going to too. Wow.
It was just so it was so peaceful. And the following October I got baptized at Coast Hills Church.
Nice.
But if it wasn't for Troy, who knows?
Like your angel.
Yeah. So then another tragedy happened. But this is what launched the book. So how are we on time?
It's called Triumphs Over Tragedies.
Yes.
These things happen.
Yes.
It's a real thing.
It's
Triumphs
a real
over
thing.
Tragedies. And that you're supposed to write a book about that.
Yeah.
It's like it goes, you have to.
You have to. But
There's a book in everybody. We know that. There's so many people are launching books.
And I always say, if you have a story and you don't do what Lauren and I do,
get it out.
Share it with us so that we can share your experience with other people.
Right.
Because there's somebody who will relate to your story. Not everybody will relate to ours, right? But there's going to be somebody who relates to yours. Correct. So tell people like us so then we can get on a platform and share your story, anonymously, of course. So in 2004, my wedding was canceled 4 days before.
Why?
He got cold feet.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
okay.
He got cold feet. And we battled back and forth and it was just like, yeah, I just was like, whatever. And he canceled the day that I picked up my wedding dress.
Nice guy.
My luck, right?
Dang, girl.
So my friend Wanda actually
you were meant to go through all these things, though, to be strong and powerful for other women.
Absolutely.
I absolutely, totally, wholeheartedly, just sitting next to you right now. I think that all these things happen for you.
Yeah.
Not to you.
Yeah. Or against us, right?
For these reasons, to show and have other women walk through and realize that they can do it too.
Exactly. And you're not alone. So if you're part of that club, let me know. We can start.
Yeah, she's here for you. You got to read her book.
Yes. So so for 1 month, I went into full self-destruction, like popping my Klonopin. I didn't know how to handle anxiety at that time. I had no coping skills still. And so here in Orange County back in the day, right? Pop a pill, you'll feel better, right? Okay. So here I go to the psych. He gives me Klonopin. And I don't
even know what that is.
Oh, it's an anti-anxiety. It basically can take down an elephant. It's like it's just a crazy drug.
Wow.
And so, but I wasn't taking it as prescribed, and I was drinking my red wine on top of it.
Here we go.
And I was so angry again, just angry and dark. And I'm like, and then my mom's like, my kid's going crazy over losing a guy. And I'm like, no, I said something else is going on.
Deeper.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, but this is something different. And she even hit me because when my wedding was canceled, he didn't cancel. I found out from Tivoli Terrace. So my face, I guess, started falling and I started turning blue and my mom's hitting me. I didn't even know. She told me this.
Like Carrie from Sex and the City.
Right? Right?
Right?
Exactly.
You remember that scene?
Yes.
Yeah, big got in a limo and drove away. He was trying to call her.
It was crazy. So
This is real stuff, you
This
guys.
is real stuff. And
your life is like a movie.
Oh, I actually
Why they would make a movie of your
I hit
life?
somebody up at Asylum Entertainment, and he was like, it's not really a story, but I was like, maybe if somebody out there wants to make a movie, we can do it.
Yes.
So
this is big stuff, man.
So it was on October 9th, 2004. We're sitting in my living room. We had a family friend of ours over, and he absolutely like drives me crazy every single time he comes over. It's like he just, I mean, he's a lovely soul, but he's just like so intense and like fast and
Just
New York. He's just very New York,
Okay,
right? Just very, very fast and intense. And he said something, I don't even remember what it was, but it's in my book, but I don't, like, off the top of my head, I don't remember.
Gotta read the book.
And I got up. Now I'm almost 5'11". My family is like all short. Okay?
Really?
Yeah. Dad's 5'8", mom's 5'5". Yeah. So everybody was
she's
little.
tall. You guys, I made her take her shoes off on the red carpet because I look like a little person. And I'm not at all.
And I'm always sitting down so people don't realize how tall I am.
Yeah, you're tall.
So I got up with like all my power.
Ooh.
And I went to my dad to my left. I almost hit my dad. I blamed my mom and my dad for Nicole's murder. Where the hell that came from, I have no idea.
Wow.
I was like, I'm out of here. I disengaged from the moment, and that experience is in my book. I went to the living room. I went through the living room, and Denise grabbed me by the shoulders. Now Denise is intense, right? We all have seen her. She grabbed me by the shoulders, and I mean, it was loud. Like the first chapter of my book is called "And the Oscar Goes To."
Okay, I like that.
Because it was dramatic, and there were F-bombs going, and it was painful and nuts. But I was spiraling big time, and she grabbed me and she said, "You need coping skills." I'm like, what the heck?
Instead of that Copeland or whatever that's
right?
called.
I'm like, what the heck are coping skills? And she's like, I don't know, but you need to go figure it out.
I don't know.
You need to go figure it out. I go, where do I find? I mean, it was like this whole like 30 seconds that seemed 10 minutes. And I was like, forget you. And I went to my room and I grabbed my Klonopin. I poured the whole bottle in my hand. And I grabbed my bottle of red wine, and I was already loaded. And as I went like this with the whole bottle of Klonopin in my hand, my sister Dominique came in and threw my hand out, and she goes, "What the heck are you doing?" Oh, wow. I managed to take 4, but I was like, had she not walked in at that very moment,
yes,
who knows where I'd be right now. So what led me to that point?
Maybe with your sister.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Right. God, Holy Spirit,
right.
Sister, who knows? But at that very moment, I said, get me the heck out of here. So the lesson is disengage from the things that bring you stress, face your grief as it shows up in your life. Because had I done that, I never would have hit that rock bottom.
Well, that's what they say. I mean, in all addiction programs,
right?
Once you hit rock bottom, that's when you make a decision.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sad that you have to go to such lows.
Oh, it was really low
before you make that conscious decision and decide, and then you start doing the work.
The work. Yeah.
So don't wait, you guys.
Don't wait.
You feel that you have any issues that you're not dealing with, and stuffing them down, or hiding with food, drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be, taking those crazy elephant pills, whatever.
I don't know. That was nuts.
Don't
even take them. I mean,
someone said they're no joke on here.
Yeah, they're no joke. I mean, we give it to I worked in hospice for a while, and hospice patients get Klonopin, a lot of the time to bring down their anxiety. So anyway,
that's not the way to deal with things.
It's
you have
feel.
You have to.
And I didn't feel.
Breathe and go through the process, however long that takes, whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah.
To get to the other side and just know and have that hope that you were saying, and pray about it and ask for help, and get around people that are there to support you. These things, they're so basic, but people forget.
Yes.
To get help.
Or they're scared.
Or they have that
or they're embarrassed.
Or guilt. Yeah,
right?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
things
they're
just
embarrassed.
Happen. It's called life.
I was embarrassed, but had I not been with my family.
But it is what it is. That was your reality.
It is what it is.
But you're here to speak about it. That's pretty courageous.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. It's telling your stories to what's happening right now and all these dark moments you've had in your life, and yeah, you're this, famous family and all these things, but you were just a real family.
I'm a person. I'm a human being.
Yes,
right?
dealing with real life issues, and you've had more than most. I mean, from the first, that's a lot of tragedy.
It's a lot of tragedy.
But they say, God gives you not more than you can handle.
Yeah, so I can't handle more.
So you have very big shoulders.
That's what I say too.
That's why my shoulders are so big. I handle a lot too. You're like, you got a lot on your plate, Lauren.
I don't want any more Louis Vuitton under my eyes. Like, I can only handle so much.
That's what Botox is for.
Right, exactly.
It's all good.
It's all good.
It's a remedy for everything. But you have to seek it out. You know what I mean? And just seek the help and ask for it. And it's not about holding on to guilt and shame. Those are things, and stress. Those are things that will kill you.
There's psychiatrists. There's doctors. There's therapists.
Don't take that pill, though. Whatever.
Don't take that.
Yeah.
Do not
that's
take
not the
that.
answer. You have to talk it out and get
feel it. So the next day, my sister admitted me. I went willfully to South Coast Medical, which is now Mission Laguna, and I was there for 10 days inside. And that's when I went. Wow, I was sitting in class. I didn't look at it as therapy groups or anything. I was there to be a student. Like, if I'm not walking out the same person that came in.
Right.
And I've always been a student. And so I sat in class and one day, and my OT, occupational therapist, was saying something, and that's what inspired me to finish my bachelor's, get my master's.
Oh, good for you.
But then after the 10 days, it was highly suggested that I go into an outpatient program, a partial hospitalization, and I was there for 2.5 months.
Okay.
So altogether,
lucky you had the opportunity to do that. That's a gift.
Yeah.
That's not like a sentencing.
It was a gift.
A gift that you're able to get that kind of help.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is help for people that they don't have the finances or the means. They still could get support.
Oh, and
right? And you can talk to people like you.
Yeah, I do coaching and I counsel.
Yes, there you go. So I'm talking
but
about
I also know people like who need to go deeper. That is beyond my scope. But oh my God, there's so many free resources out there. There's so many people who can help you that work with you financially. Yes, absolutely. So anyway, then here I am. I'm taking care of my dad who had Alzheimer's. This is after everything. And my book isn't written yet, but I was in graduate school at the time and caregiving for my dad with Alzheimer's for a total of 8 years. My mom's going through stage 3C breast cancer at the same time. And I get this Facebook. Facebook isn't what it is today, right? Back then.
Right.
So Jody Barber, I don't know if you know Jody Barber. She's like the Orange County mama against drug aware. Like, she's all for drug awareness. Like her son overdosed on
probably OD
on Apana, and she found him.
That becomes her mission. You see, those tragedies turn into
missions, right? We started the foundation, the Nicole Brown Foundation, which we no longer have, from that tragedy.
Yes.
So I saw on Jody's Facebook page, I'm like, my God, there's so much depression, there's so much anxiety, suicide. I mean, with kids too. I'm like,
sad.
What is this? And then I was like, oh my God, I have a story. But I wasn't ready to share it. Then I get a random email within like that week. And I'm like, okay, God.
Nothing's random.
Nothing's random. I'm like, okay, God.
No mistake.
There's something happening here. From William Croyle, who is the co-writer of my book. And he said, have you ever thought of writing your story?
Nice.
I'm like, I don't have a story. My story's no different than any other.
Are you kidding? I'm still blown away. I'm trying to take it all in. My gosh, I'm like...
But so anyway,
I have no idea any of this stuff, you guys. So this is pretty amazing that she's sharing this with us. I appreciate that.
That was the inspiration of my book. From that random email from William Croyle he lived in Kentucky, and it was written I signed the contract in Cincinnati after a speaking engagement, and boom, there we go. So I'm very candid in this book. I share pictures. I begin every chapter with a journal entry from when I was going through my hard times. But at the end of the book,
vulnerable.
Oh, I'm totally like.
That's why we relate.
Yeah, exactly.
I came off stage and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I love how vulnerable you were. You were so real.
Just be honest.
Just so yeah."
But you got to be ready. You've got to be ready.
Yeah, it's not easy. That's stuff. It's easy to say.
It's not for everyone.
Easy to do.
But in time, you just got to pray about it. But in the back of the book,
exercise and nutrition. Look at that. She has a chapter on that.
Exercise.
Oh, look at your.
Oh, hold on, pain ends. I love your guy. I love this. Oh, he's awesome.
That's right.
So in the back of my book, I have 12 tools because I wanted to give the readers some, life sucks right now. What can I do to get out of this? And so these are just like simple strategies that you can do.
So where do they find that?
It's in the back of the book.
So they have to get the book first. So we have the link for that.
Right. So
there it is, TanyaBrown.net.
But I'll share
/about.
Yeah.
This is also a podcast.
Oh, good.
So
good.
Yes. So that's Tanya Brown is TANYA Brown.net /about. That's where the book is. Then you can get the tips in the book. And this is also on audio. Have you done that yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh gosh, girl, we'll talk.
I don't know how to do that.
I did it. It was quite an experience. But look how similar. We have very similar stories, and
it's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that great? We're going to trade books here.
Exactly. This is going to be fun. So,
we're almost we're actually at the top of the hour.
Oh, we are.
You have so much. Well, that's why I wanted to make sure.
There's so much.
Well, we're going to have you back.
Okay, good.
Because
I have an assault to talk about. I have a lot to talk about. So,
you do.
The second part.
There you go. It's ready to help you.
Oh, yay. Thank you. This is so good.
I know. My guests are always amazed.
It's amazing. So
just go like this and it happens.
But I wanted to give you this little blue ribbon from from Sparky.
Yes, I love her.
It says "Who I am makes a difference," and I want to honor you.
Everywhere you go, there you are.
Everywhere you go, there you are. And
I'm going to get one.
You're going to get one.
Yay!
And I just want to honor you just for sharing your story, being courageous. Being who you are, because you're just awesome, and I love your blue eyes. I wish I had them.
Goes with my blue ribbon.
Yeah, I know, right? So anyway, who you are does make a difference, and who you are makes a difference. And and you're not in this thing called life alone. So if you need help, I'm very I'm open to anyone. So if you need help, just reach out. You're not alone.
Right. You can follow her on here. She's a friend of mine now, so you guys can always find her. This will be on the podcast, which is on everywhere. We're on all the channels.
Awesome.
So there you go. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, Stitcher,
wow.
Just to name a few. This is also on the YouTube channel. There you go.
Very cool.
Yep.
I need to hire him.
You're going to be everywhere. And if you'd like to be a guest on my show, there's my book, Beneath the Muscle.
Yes.
Unleash Your Inner Champion. We are all champions. If you want to work with myself and be a guest on my show, go to powerhourtv.com/guest. Fill out the application. My team will take a look at it. Not to miss anything that's happening on the show or in my world, just text the word POWERS, POWERS, text the word POWERS to 888-907-2480. If you'd like to see more of Tanya, let's bring her back. I'm sure we've had
There's a lot more.
There's a lot more. I want to know more. There you go. And this is my gift for you guys to be listening. It's your 15-day powerful guide, your faith and fitness from me. It's a lot of fun. powerhourtv.com/power workout calendar. That's free for all the listeners on podcast. If you're watching, you can scan it right there. Get your phone out.
Oh, I don't have it with me. It's over there.
Okay. I'll hook you up later. But you can scan that, get your free calendar from me. It's fun. We're constantly updating that. I've got a in-home Power Hour show for fitness and nutrition. I am your faith and fitness queen. There you go. Jump on a call with me, you guys. It's free for being one of my listeners. You can also scan me there. The QR code is there. It makes it super easy to book some time with me. I'm here for you, as well as my girlfriend here, Tanya. We're here from you. That's why we're sisters here in faith.
Yep.
We're here to serve. We've been through a lot between the two of us.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
We got to write a book.
Yeah, together, right? Dan Kennedy said we make a good team. That's very sweet.
Hey, Dan.
So there you go. It's living with stress.
You can get some 24 self-care tips on there. I'm doing coaching. I'm going to start doing masterminds and, just getting going on it again.
Yeah, we got to team up a little bit because it's about mental and physical fitness.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's both. It takes both.
Yeah.
So you have to be strong in your mind. Everybody talks about mindset, including myself.
Strong in here.
And strong in there, right?
Feel it before it goes away.
Yeah. There you go. I got you, girl. We're going to go work out. We're going to go have some lunch. We're going to go celebrate. Sharing her story. I'm very proud of her. I'm very honored to know you, my dear.
Yay. Love you lots. This has been great.
Absolutely.
Had it not been for that bathroom, we probably would have been
right.
connected.
Yes. Cara, who's on the show right now, she was actually there.
Hey, Cara. Yeah.
She was in the bathroom with us.
That was funny.
You never know you're going to meet at Women's Empowerment. So support your women, empower women. My new name is Lauren Empowers.
Yes. That's awesome.
Tanya L. Brown. This is another episode of the Power Hour. What a way to come back strong and fierce, because that's who we are. So I want you guys to stay with me. Be strong. Be fierce.
Be fierce and be you.
Boom!